And welcome on out to Mulcahy Stadium. Will Bass will lead it off today for the Chinooks. After him, it'll be the usual Mason Mallard, Hunter Vansaw. First pitch of Bass lined right down the third base line, but it'll be caught by Willie Holmesa for out number one on a close play. So Bass down to start this one. That brings up Mason Mallard. Mason Mallard now up to the plate for the Chinooks. He'll be first pitch swinging at that high pitch. Mallard comes into today's game hitting .212 on the summer. The 0-1. Line down the right field line. That's going to drop in for a fair ball. Mallard's going to round first, heads for second. They're going to wave him down to third. Going to be a close play. And he'll be safe down at third as that got away from Holmesa. Luckily, they had someone backing it up. Otherwise, Mallard would have came in to score. So that'll be a triple for Mason Mallard. That's his first triple on the summer. So he'll be at third with one down here in the top of the first. On the hill for the Bucs today, Justin Mulvaney, the sophomore from Northern Colorado. First pitch swinging and missing from Hunter Vansaw. Here's the 0-1. Low and outside, ball 1. 1-1 the count to Hunter Vansaw. Vansaw hitting a team high 358. The 1-1. That one's popped left side. That'll get out of play. One and two the count. Here's the 1-2. Comes inside. That'll get away from Riebenspies. Mallard slides in to score. Chinooks will take a 1-0 lead here in the top of the first. Two and two the count to Hunter Vansaw. One down. Chinooks just took the 1-0 lead. The 2-2. That'll miss low, ball 3. So Vansaw works the count full 3-2. Here comes the 3-2. Line to left side, out of play. Looks like that one might have landed in the Bucs bullpen down that left field line. Count remains full. Here's the 3-2. Fouls that back, stays alive at 3-2. Here's the 3-2. Popped up left side once again. That'll land in the stands, out of play. Third straight foul ball for Vansaw. Count remains 3-2 to Hunter Vansaw with one down top of the first here in Anchorage. Here's a 3-2. Hit on the ground, left side. Holmesa will get to it. He'll get that over to Cody Reynolds at first in time, out number 2. Tim Millard up to the plate, 2 down, top of the first. Chinooks taking an early 1-0 lead over the Anchorage Bucs. First pitch to Millard. In there, called strike one. Millard originally was given the day off yesterday, then came in the 7th inning for a 2 RBI single. The 0-1 will miss inside, ball one. One count to Tim Millard, the redshirt sophomore from Dallas Baptist. The 1-1 will miss down and outside, ball two. Now Millard will take some time to step out of the box. Here comes the 2-1. That's lined back foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count to Tim Millard. The 2-2. Lined hard right side. But that'll go foul. Looks like that one might have landed in the Chinook bullpen. It's down the right field line. Count remains 2-2 to Tim Millard. 2 down, top of the first. With a 2-2. Swing and a miss. Millard goes down swinging and chasing. So that'll do it for the top of the first here in Anchorage, but not before the Chinooks take a 1-0 lead over the Anchorage Bucs. Bucs half of the first coming up here in a moment. And we're back here, bottom of the first inning at Mulcahy Stadium. First pitch to Alan Trejo will miss down in the turf, ball one. Chinooks have a 1-0 lead after their half of the first. Alan Trejo first up for the Bucs. The 1-0 in there, called strike one on the inside half of the plate. After Trejo, it'll be LJ Hatch and Steven Sensley. The 1-1. Just outside, ball two. On the mound today for the Chinooks, Brody Harris plays at Spring Arbor. Here's the 2-1. That one's hit back to Harris on the mound. He'll field it. Gets that over to Ethan Whisker at first in time for out number 1. LJ Hatch coming up to the plate now for the Bucs. Here's the first pitch to Hatch. Fouls that one out of play right side. Defensively for the Chinooks, fairly typical defensive lineup. Mason Mallard in left, Greg Populison in center with Zach Sanford in right field. In the infield, Tim Millard down at third, Aaron Shackelford at shortstop. The 0-1 to Hatch. That one's hit on the ground towards short. Shackelford will field it. Gets it over to Whisker at first in time, out number 2. Two down, bottom of the first inning. Chinooks up 1-0 over the Bucs. That brings Steven Sensley to the plate for the Anchorage Bucs. And finishing the defensive alignment for the Chinooks, Will Bass over at second, Ethan Whisker at first, Spencer Lininger behind the plate, and again Brody Harris on the mound. First pitch to Steven Sensley. In there called strike 1. Sensley 6'1", a sophomore from Louisiana Lafayette. Here's the 0-1. Breaking pitch catches the inside corner, called strike 2. Sensley falls behind in the count 0-2. Now the 0-2. Out of this outside ball 1. Sensley leading the Bucs in average. He's hitting .329. Also leads the team in RBIs with 19. The 1-2. Down and outside in the turf, ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count to Steven Sensley. Here's the 2-2. That one's popped up left side. Tim Millard will run out of room as that'll get out of play. Count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes to Steven Sensley. He's playing center field today. Here's the 2-2. Hit on the ground hard towards short. Shackelford will field it and gets that over to Ethan Whisker first in time. Out number 3. Bucs go down 1-2-3 on 3 ground ball outs. And after 1 here in Anchorage, Chinooks have a 1-0 lead over the Anchorage Bucs. And we're back here to start the top of the second inning between your Chugach Eagle River Chinooks and the Anchorage Bucs. Ethan Whisker will lead things off for the Chinooks. First pitch to him. Catches the outside corner for a called strike one. After Whisker, it'll be Aaron Shackelford and Zach Sanford. The 0-1. Down to the turf, ball one. 1-1 count to Ethan Whisker. Places ball at Hillsdale College. The 1-1. Hit hard on the ground towards third. Holmes grabs it. We'll get that over to Cody Reynolds at first in time. Out number one. Aaron Shackelford now up to the plate for the Chinooks. One down, top of the second. First one in, catches the outside corner, called strike one. Go on. That one's popped back out of play. That'll put Shackelford down in the count 0-2. Shackelford hitting .276 on the summer, 4 doubles, 3 triples. 0-2 will miss down and outside, ball one. The 1-2. Down and outside again. That'll make it 2 balls, 2 strikes to Shackelford. The 2-2. It's it on the ground towards second. LJ Hatch will field it. Gets it over to Cody Reynolds at first in time. Out number 2. Zach Sanford up to the plate, 2 down, top of the second. Chinooks up 1-0. That pitch to Sanford out towards center field. That'll be brought in by Steven Sensley for out number 3. So the Chinooks will go down in order in the top of the second. They still have a 1-0 lead over the Bucs here in Anchorage. Cody Reynolds now up to the plate for the Anchorage Bucs to start off the bottom of the second inning. First pitch to Reynolds. That's lined out towards right field. Sanford going back, and he'll make the catch for out number 1. Bryant Harris up to the plate for the Bucs. First pitch to him. Swing and a miss, strike one. Harris, the DH field. The 0-1. Down and inside, ball one. 1-1 the count to Bryant Harris. Harris, a 6'3" freshman from the University of Tennessee. The 1-1. Just outside as Harris holds up his swing. Doing on the count to Bryant Harris from the bottom of the second inning. Chinooks up 1-0. The 2-1. And on the ground towards third. Millard will field it. And Whisker unable to catch the scoop. So that'll make Harris safe over at first. Bit of an awkward throw there from Millard. That'll bring McCarthy Tatum up to the plate for the Bucs. 1 down, 1 on. First pitch to Tatum. Harris on the move. Liniger with the throw. Not in time. Harris will swipe second. That'll be his third steal of the summer. Tatum took that pitch for strike one. Here's the 0-1. Just down and outside. Ball one to Tatum. And Brody will step off and look back Bryant Harris at second. And that play that allowed Harris to be safe over first would be officially ruled an error on Tim Millard on the throw. The 1-1. Swing and a miss from Tatum. One as you count to McCarthy Tatum, the 6'3" sophomore from Fresno State. The 1-2. That'll miss low, ball two. Evens it back up 2 balls, 2 strikes to Tatum. Here's the 2-2. It's hit on the ground. Harris will field it. Bobbles it eventually. Gets it over to first in time for the out. Does allow Bryant Harris to advance to third. That makes it 2 down, bottom of the second. Chinooks up 1-0, but the Bucs have a runner at third and Bryant Harris. Aaron Aruda, the right fielder, now to the plate. First pitch to Aruda. Hit on the ground. Millard dives. Shackelford will field it. And not in time over at first. So unfortunate just play there for the Chinooks as there was not much they can do. That drives in Bryant Harris to tie this ball game up at 1 apiece. 2 down, bottom of the second. This ball game's tied up at 1. Chad Riebenspe's up to the plate. And Harris will check on Aruda at first. He'll be back at time. First pitch to Riebenspe's. And they're called strike 1. On the count to Chad Riebenspe's, junior from New Mexico State. He'll be swinging and missing at the 0-1 pitch, falls behind 0-2. Riebenspe is hitting 133 with 1 double and a triple. The 0-2. Just outside, ball 1. Count 1-2 to Riebenspe's. Aruda, the runner at first for the Bucs. The 1-2. Just inside, ball 2. Couple close pitches to Riebenspe's. Count evens back up 2 balls, 2 strikes. Harris throws over to first to check on Aruda. He'll be back in time. Here comes the 2-2. Hitting the ground towards short. Shackelford will field it. Gets over to first in time. Out number 3. So that'll do it for the bottom of the second, but not before the Bucs are able to tie this ball game up at 1. So we'll head into the top of the third, tied at 1 here in Anchorage. And welcome back to Mulcahy Stadium here in Anchorage, starting the top of the third inning between the Bucs and the Chinooks. Chinooks half of the third. First pitch to Spencer Lininger, down low, ball 1. 8-9 one-hitters due up For the Chinooks, after Lininger, it'll be Greg Populus, and then back to the top of the order for Will Bass. The 1-0. On the ground, first base side, that'll go foul. One count to Lininger. The 1-1. Down and outside, ball 2. Lininger, the only switch hitter on the Chinooks, so bat lefty against the righty Mulvaney. The 2-1. Hit on the ground softly towards short. Trejo will field it. But over to Cody Rounds at first in time. Out number 1. Greg Populus coming up to the plate, 1 down, top of the 3rd inning, 1-1 your score between the Chinooks and the Bucs. Greg Populus stepping into that right-handed batter's box. First pitch to him. Catch the inside corner for a called strike 1. Populus had a double yesterday against the Pilots. Here's the 0-1. Outside, ball 1. Would have won the count to Greg Populus. Sitting 176 on the summer. 3 doubles, 1 triples with a couple RBIs. The 1-1. That one's popped out towards center field. That'll be Steven Sensley getting under that one for out number 2. Two down, top of the 3rd. Will Bass coming back up to the plate for the 2nd time today. First pitch to Bass. In there, called strike 1. Bass lined out to 3rd, his first time up today. The 0-1. That'll miss low for ball 1. One on the count to Will Bass, the second baseman from Wayland Baptist. 1-1 will miss outside, ball 2. Bass came in today hitting .264. The 2-1. That'll miss by just a little bit for ball 3. The 3-1 the count to Bass. Here's a 3-1. That one's lined into right field. That'll drop in for a base hit. Bass is going to take a hard round as that one got past Aruda, gets to the wall. Fumbles with it a little bit, but nonetheless, Bass will be on at second with the double. That's the 8th double on the season for Bass, leads the team in that category. Two down, top of the 3rd. 1-1 your score between the Bucs and the Chinooks. Will Bass, the runner at second. Mason Mallard now to the plate. First pitch to Mallard. That'll just catch that outside corner for a called strike 1. Mallard had a triple his first time up today, his first triple of the summer. Here's the 0-1. in there called strike two. Mallard did have the bunt laid down for just a moment. On to the count to Mason Mallard, 2 down, top of the third. The 0-2. That one's hit on the ground off of Mulvaney's glove. But he'll still have enough time to go over to first and get out Mason Mallard to end the top of the third. So the Chinooks will leave Bass stranded, unable to do anything here in the top of the third. 1-1 remains your score between the Chinooks and the Anchorage Bucs. Willie Holmes up to the plate to start the bottom of the third. First pitch to him. Upstairs, ball one. 9-1-2 hitters do it for the Bucs here in the bottom of the third. After Holmes, it'll be Alan Trejo and L.J. Hatch. The 1-0. Line just down the first base line. Goes off of the bag. That'll keep Whisker from fielding it. He made a good diving effort, but takes an awkward bounce after it bounces off of the bag. So an infield single there for Holmes that he'll be on to start the bottom of the third. Brings Alan Trejo up to the plate. First pitch to Trejo. Up and outside, ball one. Trejo grounded out right back to Brody Harris, his first time up. Harris now going to check on Holmes at first. He'll be back in time. Holmes and no stolen bases on the summer has been caught once. The 1-0. Trejo tries to lay down the bunt, pops it up back in foul ground. One count to Alan Trejo, sophomore from San Diego State. Harris checks on Holmes again at first. He's back in plenty of time. Here comes the 1-1. Popped up right side. That goes out of play. One and two the count to Allen and Trejo. Willie Holmes are the runner at first. Nobody down. Bottom of the third. The 1-2. Just down and outside, ball 2. Which didn't miss by a whole lot. Two and two the count to Trejo. The 2-2. That one's lined back foul. Count remains 2-2 to Alan Trejo. Here's the 2-2. That's hit on the ground softly towards second. Bass will field it. Only has time to go to first, so he'll get the out at first. Allows Holmes to advance to second. LJ Hatch up to the plate now for the Bucs with one down here in the bottom of the third. Bucs have a runner in second and Willie Holmes. Hatch grounded out to short his first time up. First pitch to him. Fouled right back. Hatch, a 6-foot junior from New Mexico State. A few New Mexico State players in this game with Hatch and Riebenspees on the Bucs and Greg Populison on the Chinooks. The 0-1. Checked his swing. Did go around. So Hatch will fall behind 0-2. Oh, 0-2 the count to Hatch. Here's the 0-2. Breaking pitch will miss outside, ball 1. Hatch hitting .260 on the summer. 2 doubles, 6 RBIs. The 1-2. Broke his bat. That one's going to be hit softly to center field, and that'll be brought in by Will Bass for out number 2. That broken bat made it about halfway to the mound. That one was hit pretty far in on the handle. Two down, bottom of the third. 1-1 your score between the Chinooks and the Bucs. Steven Sensley making his way to the plate. Bucs have a runner at second and Willie Holmes. First pitch to Sensley. Chops softly back to Harris on the mound. He'll get that over to Ethan Whisker first in time. Out number 3. So Holmes will get all the way to the second, but he'll be stranded after 3 innings here in Anchorage. Score remains 1-1 between the Chinooks and the Anchorage Bucs. And we're back here, top of the fourth inning in Anchorage. 1-1 your score between the Bucs and the Chinooks. First pitch to Hunter Vansaw will be in there, called strike one. Middle of the lineup, due up for the Chinooks after Vansaw. It'll be Tim Millard and Ethan Whisker. The 0-1 is chopped on the ground, foul. Vansaw down in the count, 0-2. The 0-2. Waste pitch that time, 1-2 the count. One and two the count to Hunter Vansaw. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. He'll go down on strikes. Second strikeout today for Mulvaney. One down at the top of the fourth. First pitch to Tim Millard. Down and outside, ball one. Millard, his first time up, he went down swinging. The 1-0. That one's hit high out towards center field. But Steven Sensley will set up under that one for out number two. Ethan Whisker up to the plate, 2 down, top of the fourth inning here in Anchorage. 1-1 your score between the Chinooks and the Bucs. First pitch to Whisker. Down and outside, ball one. Whisker grounded out to third his first time up. The 1-0. Miss down and outside again for ball two. Here's the 2-0. That one's hit hard down towards short. Trejo will field it. Gets it over to Cody Reynolds at first in time for out number three. So that'll do it for the top of the fourth as the Chinooks go down in order. Score remains 1-1 here in Anchorage. Cody Reynolds up to the plate to start the bottom of the fourth inning here in Anchorage. First pitch to Reynolds will miss low, ball one. Brody Harris still on the hill for your Chinooks, starting his fourth inning of work. The 1-0. That one's fouled off right side out of play. 1-1 the count to Cody Reynolds. After him, it'll be Bryant Harris and McCarthy Tatum coming up for the Bucs. The 1-1. That'll miss just low for ball 2. The 2-1. Down and inside, ball 3. 3-1 the count to Cody Reynolds, the junior from Sacramento State. The 3-1. Swing and a miss. That'll make it a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. First full count of the day for either pitcher. And that won't come until the bottom of the 4th. The 3-2. Reynolds will foul that one back. Stays alive at 3-2. Count remains 3 balls, 2 strikes to Reynolds. The 3-2. Got him looking. Called strike 3 on the inside part of the plate. First strikeout today for Brody Harris will come in the bottom of the 4th. Bryant Harris up to the plate. Bottom of the 4th inning, 1 down, 1-1 your score. First pitch to Bryant Harris. Swinging and missing for strike 1. Harris reached base on an error last time up. He then came around to score the first run for the Bucs. The 0-1 popped up right side, but that'll get out of play. So the 6'3" freshman from Tennessee finds himself down the count 0-2. Here comes the 0-2. Fouled back as Bryant Harris stays live at 0-2. Count remains 0-2 to Bryant Harris. The 0-2. Upstairs, ball 1. One and 2 the count to Bryant Harris. Here comes the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Second straight strikeout for Brody Harris. 2 down here in the bottom of the 4th. McCarthy Tatum up to the plate. 2 down, bottom of the 4th. First pitch to Tatum. In there, called strike 1. Tatum grounded out back to Harris. His first time up. The 0-1. Down and inside, ball 1. Tatum, the 6'3" sophomore from Fresno State. The 1-1. That one's hit out towards left field. Mallard coming in on the run for out number 3. A couple strikeouts and a flyout will end the bottom of the 4th. And after 4, score remains 1-1 between the Anchorage Bucs and your Chugiak Eagle River Chinooks. And welcome back. Top of the fifth inning here at Mulcahy Stadium. Aaron Shackelford first up for the Chinooks. First pitch to him. In there, called strike one. After Shackelford, it'll be Zach Sanford and Spencer Lininger. The 0-1. Hit back left side. That'll get out of play. So Shackelford finds himself down in the count 0-2. Shack grounded out to second his first time up. The 0-2. That's hit right past the diving glove of Willie Holmesa. That'll be a single for Aaron Shackelford. So Shack will lead off the top of the fifth with a single, brings up Zach Sanford. Zach Sanford up to the plate now for the Chinooks. Nobody down, one on. They'll check on Shackelford. He'll be back in time. Shack does have a couple stolen bases, has been caught a couple times as well. First pitch to Sanford. Down and outside, ball one. First time up, Zach flew out to center field. That was back in the second inning. Here's the 1-0. Shackelford on the move. Bunt was showed there by Sanford. Pulls it back, but it's in there for the strike, and Shackelford went back to first, thinking that he might not have been able to get to second safely. Sanford. They'll try and check on Shackelford again. He'll dive back in just in time. Sanford places ball at Glenville State College in Glenville, West Virginia. The 1-1. Down and outside, ball two. Sanford came into the day hitting .228 with a couple doubles. One home run and 4 RBIs. That home run did come here at Mulcahy Stadium. The 2-1. Popped back out of play. Evens the count back up 2 balls, 2 strikes. Shackelford still over there at first. The 2-2. That one's popped way up in the infield. Cody Reynolds will bring that one in for the out. Spencer with one down, top of the fifth. 1-1 your score between the Chinooks and the Bucs. First pitch to him. That one's fouled back. Lininger grounded out to short his first time up. Now they'll check on Shackelford over at first. That is back in time. The 0-1. Outside ball 1. Lininger came into today's game hitting .261. The 1-1. Misses down. Reed's will check on Shackelford himself. He'll be back in time over at first. 2-1, the count to Spencer. The 2-1. Tipped back by Lininger. 2-2 the count. One down top of the 5th here in Anchorage. The 2-2. Lined back out of play. Count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes. The 2-2. Shackelford on the move, but that's hit foul. So Shackelford will have to go back over to first. Balls, 2 strikes. The 2-2. And he'll go chasing that pitch. That one was just outside. And Spencer Lininger will go down on strikes. Makes it 2 down here in the top of the 5th. That'll bring Greg Populison up to the plate, the number 9 hitter for the Chinooks. Populison up to the plate. Aaron Shackelford over at first. First pitch to Populison popped way up. Looks like it'll stay in the infield. And Chad Riemensby, his New Mexico State teammate, will be the one to bring it in for the final out of the inning. So that'll do it for the top of the 5th. Chinooks will leave a runner stranded in Aaron Shackelford. Score remains 1-1 here in Anchorage. Bottom of the fifth inning here at Mulcahy Stadium. Bottom of the order, do it for the Bucs. First up, Aaron Aruda. First pitch to him in there, called strike one. After Aruda and Willie Holmza. The 0-1. That one's fouled back and out of play. Aruda had an R first. The 0-2. Line down the right field line, but that'll drift out of play. Here's the 0-2. Hit on the ground, third base side, that'll go foul. Count remains 0-2 to Aaron Aruda. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss. He'll go chasing. That'll be the third strikeout today for Brody Harris. First out in the box. Chad Riebenspees up to the plate, one down. Bottom of the fifth inning, 1-1 your score between the Chinooks and the Bucs. First pitch to Riebenspees. That's lined into right field, into the gap. That'll drop in. Riebenspees is going to round first hard, but then he'll go back over to first. So that'll be a single for Riebenspees. Third hit today for the Bucs, but that's the first one to get out of the infield. That'll bring Willie Holmza up to the plate with one down here in the bottom of the fifth. Chad Riebenspees is the runner at first for the Bucs. First one to Holmza. Outside, ball one. Well, his first time up, that was Holmza, the freshman from Brown University. The 1-0. Breaking pitch in there, called strike one. Holmza, the switch hitter, will bat righty against the lefty Harris. Harris will check on Riebenspees at first. He'll be back in time. Riebenspees does have one steal on the summer, hasn't been caught stealing. The 1-1. Lined back, foul. Makes the count 1-2 to Willie Holmza. And they'll check on Riebenspees again at first. He'll be back in time. Holmza hitting 182 coming into today's game. The 1-2. And they will call a balk on Brody Harris. Didn't come set quite long enough, it appears. To count to Willie Holmza. Here's the 1-2. That's hit on the ground softly towards short. Shackelford will charge it. Gets it over to first in time for out number 2. Allows Riebenspees to advance to third, though. Alan Trejo up to the plate, the leadoff man for the Bucs. 2 down, bottom of the 5th. Bucs do have a runner on third in Chad Riebenspees. First pitch to Trejo. Up high, ball 1. Trejo 0 for 2 today. Couple of ground outs. Here's the 1-0. Breaking pitch in there, called strike 1. That'll leave it back up at 1-1 to Trejo. Here's the 1-1. Just outside, ball 2. Two and 1 the count to Alan Trejo, the shortstop from San Diego State. The 2-1. Down and outside, ball 3. Makes the count 3-1 to Trejo. The 3-1. And they will ask if he checked his swing. They say he did not go around, so that's ball 4 to Trejo. Trejo will draw the 2-out walk. First walk today for Brody Harris. Two down, and Lininger will make his first and third call. Trejo does have some speed, 4 steals on the summer, but don't know if you really want to risk it with there being 2 down. LJ Hatch up to the plate for the Bucs. 2 down, bottom of the 5th. And Harris will check on Trejo at first. Hatch on the day, 0 for 2 with a ground out and a fly out. First pitch to him. Down and outside, ball 1. Hatch, the junior from New Mexico State, as they'll check on Trejo once again. The 1-0. That one's fouled back. Hatch came into the game hitting .260 with a couple doubles. Harris will throw over to first to check on Trejo. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss from Hatch. Couldn't quite time that up. One and 2 the count to LJ Hatch. Bucs have runners at first and third, 2 down. The 1-2. Misses low. Count now 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the 2-2. Trejo on the move. And that's poked into right field for a base hit. Riebensby is going to score easily. They'll hold up Trejo at third. So an RBI single from LJ Hatch puts the Bucs up 2-1 with 2 down here in the bottom of the 5th. That brings Steven Sensley up to the plate for the Bucs. 2 down as the Bucs just took a 2-1 lead. Bucs still runners at first and third. Trejo at third, Hatch at first. First pitch to Sensley. Outside, ball 1. Sensley 0 for 2 on the day with a couple of groundouts. Harris will check on Hatch over at first. Hatch does have 5 steals on the summer. The 1-0. Just outside, ball 2. Two and the count to Steven Sensley, the sophomore from Louisiana Lafayette. The 2-0. And they're called strike 1 on the breaking pitch. Two and 1 the count to Sensley. Runners at first and third with 2 down. The 2-1. That one's fouled back and out of play. So leaving it back up 2 balls, 2 strikes. The count on the center fielder, Steven Sensley. The 2-2. That one's fouled back. Count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes to Sensley. Alan Trejo at third with LJ Hatch at first for the Bucs. The 2-2. That'll just miss for ball 3. Full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Could be a critical turning point in the game, depending on what way this goes. The 3-2. Sensley chases that one. He'll hit that field line. And of course, Hatch was on the move with it being a full count and 2 down. The 3-2. That's on the ground towards second. Bass will field it. Gets it over to first in time for out number 3. So that'll do it for the bottom of the 5th, but not before the Bucs put another run on the board. They now have a 2-1 advantage as we go into the top of the 6th. Top of the order coming up for the Chinooks here in the top of the 6th. Bass will try and lay it out a bunt, but that'll be popped back foul. After Bass, it'll be Mason Mallard and Hunter Vansaw coming up for your Chinooks. Here's the 0-1. Popped back, that'll go foul. Bass 1 for 2 on the day, had a double back in the third. And Bass leads the Chinooks in doubles with 8 on the summer. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. But they will say that Ravensby's held on to that long enough for the out. So Bass will go down swinging here to start the 6th. Here's the first pitch to Mason Mallard. He'll try to check his swing, but goes around for strike 1. Mallard 1 for 2 on the day, had a triple back in the first. The 0-1 will miss down and away. The 1-1. Down and outside, ball 2. The 2-1. That one's fouled back. Two balls, 2 strikes to count on Mason Mallard. Here's the 2-2. That one's popped up. Ravensby makes a diving play right in front of the Chinooks bench. And he'll bring that in for out number 2. An outstanding effort there from Ravensby's. I think they were unaware that that was only out number 2, though. Two down at top of the 6th inning. Chinooks trail the Bucs by 2-1 score here in Anchorage. The plate. First line down the left field line. That'll go foul out of play. Vansaw 0 for 2 today with a ground out and a strikeout. The 0-1 hit on the hard on the ground towards first. Reynolds will take it over to first himself for the final out of the inning. So the Chinooks go down 1-2-3 in the top of the 6th, unable to do anything, and the Bucs will maintain their 2-1 lead as we head into the bottom of the 6th. Cody Reynolds up to the plate to start the bottom of the 6th inning. First pitch to him will miss up and away, ball 1. Brody Harris still on the hill for your Chinooks. The 1-0. Catches the inside corner, called strike 1. After Cody Reynolds, it'll be Bryant Harris and McCarthy Tatum coming up for the 1-1. That'll miss low, ball 2. Reynolds 0 for 2 today with a flyout and a strikeout. The 2-1. Hit on the ground towards third. Millard will field it. Guns it over to first in time, out number 1. One down, bottom of the 6th inning. Chinooks trailing the Bucs by a 2-1 score. And we'll have a Harris versus Harris matchup as Bryant Harris makes his way to the plate. First one to Bryant Harris. Up and outside, ball 1. Harris 0 for 2 on the day, reached on an error and struck out. The 1-0. That'll catch the outer half of the plate, called strike 1. When the count to the DH, Bryant Harris, the 1-1. Checks his swing, that'll miss inside. Here's the 2-1. Swing and a miss. Evens it back up 2-2. Two ball, 2 strike count to the freshman from Tennessee. The 2-2. That'll just miss, ball 3. Makes a full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the 3-2. Well, that'll bounce and walk to the left. That'll bring McCarthy Tatum up to the plate. 1 down, 1 on, bottom of the 6th inning. And Harris will check on Bryant Harris at first. I'll be back in time. We've already seen Bryant Harris swipe 1 bag today. First pitch to Tatum. Down and outside, ball 1. Tatum 0 for 2 today with a ground out and a fly out. And they'll check on Harris at first. He'll be back in time. Tatum, the 6'3" sophomore from Fresno State. The 1-0. Bryant Harris on the move. And Lininger misses with the throw. But Harris came off the bag. Bass dove to try and tag him out. They're going to say he was still safe. So another steal for Bryant Harris. Two and over the count to McCarthy Tatum. Here's the 2-0. That'll miss low for ball 3. 3-0 the count to McCarthy Tatum. The 3-0. Catches the outside corner, called strike one. Here's the 3-1. That one's hit nicely out towards left field. But Mason Mallard will be able to get under that one for out number 2. And Harris won't even think about tagging up from second. Two down, bottom of the 6th inning. Aaron Aruda up to the plate now for the Bucs. First pitch to Aruda. That'll miss low, ball 1. Want to know the count to Aaron Aruda. Harris will check on Brian Harris at second. He just got back in there safely. And they've been close to getting him a couple times. Count remains 1-0 to Aruda. The 1-0. Misses low, ball 2. Aruda 1 for 2 on the day, had an infield single to bring in a run in the second. The 2-0. Hit on the ground towards second. Bass will field it. Gets it over to Whisker just in time. Makes a good stretch to reel that one in for the final out here in the bottom of the 6th. So that'll do it for the bottom of the 6th. Bucs will strand 1. Score remains 2-1 with the Bucs on top as we head into the 7th. Tim Millard up to the plate as we start the top of the 7th inning. First pitch to him will miss down and outside. Mulvaney still on the hill for the Bucs. He's in his 7th inning of work. He started the game. The 1-0 is Hit nicely out towards right field. But Aaron Aruda will be able to ring that one in for out number 1. Ethan Whisker up to the plate, 1 down, top of the 7th. Chinooks trail 2-1. First pitch to Whisker will miss outside, ball 1. Whisker 0 for 2 today with a couple ground outs. The 1-0. Just barely catches the outside corner, called strike 1. The 1-0. That'll miss for ball 2. Whisker plays his ball at Hillsdale College in Hillsdale, Michigan. The 2-1. That one's popped up in foul ground. Riebenspees will have just enough room to bring that one in. Second nice play he's made in foul ground for the Bucs. So now 2 down here in the top of the 7th. Brings up Aaron Shackelford. Shackelford 1 for 2 today, had a single in the 5th. First one of him taken for a called strike 1. The 0-1. Down and outside, ball 1. Shackelford placed his ball at the Masters College where he hit just under 300 this past season. The 1-1 line down the left field line. That'll go foul. Count 1 ball, 2 strikes to Aaron Shackelford. Chinook shortstop for today. The 1-2. That'll miss low, ball 2. Count even once again at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the 2-2. Way upstairs. Riebenspees unable to even pull that one in. We'll make it a full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes to Aaron Shackelford. Here's the 3-2. Hit right back up the middle. Mulvaney unable to field it. Trejo gets to it. And they'll call Shackelford out at first on a close play. So that'll do it for the top of the 7th. Chinooks go down 1-2-3. Score remains 2-1 with the Bucs on top as we head into the 7th inning stretch here in Anchorage. And welcome back on out to Mulcahy Stadium here in Anchorage, Alaska. New pitcher on the hill for your Chinooks to start this seventh inning. It'll be Robert Winslow. First one to Chad Rebenspies. Catch the outside corner, called strike one. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss from Rebenspies. He'll fall behind 0-2. Final line for Brody Harris, 6 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. One of those runs was unearned. The 0-2 will miss for ball 1. Two and one the count to Chad Rebenspies. Here's the 1-2. That'll miss down low. 2-2. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Rebenspies goes down on strikes. That'll be the 29th strikeout this summer for Robert Winslow. That brings Willie Holmza up to the plate for the Bucs. One down, bottom of the 7th. They lead 2-1 over your Chinooks. First pitch to Holmza, lined out towards right field. Zach Sanford will be able to pull that one in for out number 2. Alan Trejo up to the plate, 2 down, bottom of the 7th inning. First pitch to Trejo. Thought about that one, but he'll hold up. It's ball 1. Trejo 0 for 2 today with a couple groundouts and a walk. The 1-0 will miss upstairs, ball 2. Here's the 2-0. Misses down and inside, ball 3. Three 0 the count to Trejo. Here's the 3-0. In there, called strike 1. Trejo was about ready to flip over his bat. Now the 3-1. Swing and a miss. That'll make it a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Trejo. Here's the 3-2. Trejo fouls that one back. He'll stay alive at 3-2. Count remains 3-2 to Trejo. Here's the 3-2. And misses down and in, ball 4. Second walk drawn up by Trejo today. Two down, bottom of the 7th inning. Chinooks trailing the Bucs by a 2-1 score. LJ Hatch up to the plate. First pitch to Hatch. In there, called strike 1 on the outer half of the plate. Hatch 1 for 3 today, had an RBI single back in the 5th. Winslow checks on Trejo. He'll be back in time. The 0-1, Trejo on the move, swinging and a miss by Hatch. Throw is late. So that'll be a steal from Trejo, his first of the day. Count now 0-2, though, to Hatch. Here's the 0-2. Out of miss down in the turf, ball 1. Count 1-2 to LJ Hatch. The 1-2. Just gets a piece of that one. Stays alive at 1-2. Hatch, the second baseman from New Mexico State. Trejo, the runner at second for the Bucs. The 1-2. Hit on the ground towards Bass at second. Get that over to Whisker at first in time for out number 3. So that'll do it for the bottom of the 7th inning. After 7 innings, the Bucs have a 2-1 lead on your Chinooks. Starting the top of the 8th inning here from Anchorage. Zach Sanford first up for the Chinooks. That'll be first pitch swinging. That'll get out of play. New pitcher on the hill for the Bucs, Lynn. Here's the 0-1. In there called strike 2. 0-2 the count to Sanford. Flynn, 6'4", freshman from the University of Arizona. Here's the 0-2. Just down and outside, ball 1. This is only Flynn's second appearance through an inning against the Miners recently. The 1-2. That one's fouled back, not caught by Riebenspies. So it'll remain 1-2 to Sanford. Here comes the 1-2. Down and outside, ball 2. 2-2, the count to Zach Sanford. Here's the 2-2. Inside. Here's the 3-2. That one's lined. So we'll do it again at 3-2. Count 3-2 to Zach Sanford. Here's the 3-2. Hits that one just down that third base line. It'll stay fair. So a fortunate infield single there for Zach Sanford as that one just went barely fair down the third base line. Holmes didn't touch it to see if it would, by some chance, go foul. It did not. First hit today from Sanford brings up Spencer Lininger. Spencer on the day 0 for 2 with a ground out and a strikeout. They'll check on Sanford over at first. They'll be back in time. Spencer showing bunt. He'll lay that down the first base line. And that'll actually plunk off of him. So he'll stay safe over at first. But they are going to... Actually, I think they might be calling Spencer out. I think they are. I think they're calling Spencer out. Maybe because he was in fair territory when it hit him. I think that's what Coach is out there to argue. So it looks like that's what happened. Spencer had a perfect bunt down the first base line, was running to first, was plunked by the ball by Riebenspies. And so they're going to call him out, apparently, since they sent Sanford back to first. So an unfortunate break there for the Chinooks, as that's out number 1 here in the top of the 8th. It brings up Greg Populison. First one to Populison. Hit on the ground towards second. Almost hit Sanford. Hatch will underhand that one to first in time to set down Populison. So that does advance Sanford to second. Two down, top of the 8th. Zach Sanford, the runner at second. Will Bass now up to the plate. First pitch to Bass. And a miss low, ball 1. Bass 1 for 3 on the day. Had a double in the third. The 1-0. And a miss inside. And Sanford couldn't make up his mind about whether to go to third or not, so he's stranded out there for a moment before he heads back to second. So it's a 2-0 count to Bass. The 2-0. This is low, ball 3. 3-0 the count to Bass. 2 down, top of the 8th inning. Chinooks trailing 2-1. The 3-0. And they're called strike 1. Three and 1 the count to Will Bass. The 3-1. That's chopped over towards second. Hatch will field it. Gets it over to Reynolds at first in time, out number 3. So that'll end the top of the 8th after a strange play on a bunt from Spencer Lininger. And nonetheless, Chinooks unable to do anything. They'll leave Sanford stranded at second. They trail 2-1 as we head to the bottom of the 8th. Steven Sensley will lead things off for the Bucs here in the bottom of the 8th. First pitch to Sensley. This is down and outside, ball 1. And if you couldn't tell from the submarine delivery, Nate Lagos on the hill now for the Chinooks. The 1-0. That's hit on a rocket out towards first. That hit off of Ethan Whisker, it looked like. And bounces into right field for a base hit for Sensley. So it looks like Whisker is okay. Doesn't seem to be in any pain or anything. So that brings Cody Reynolds up to the plate now for the Bucs. There you go. So check on Sensley over first. He'll be back in time. For Lagos, this is his 9th appearance on the summer. 10 innings pitched. Has a 3.60 ERA. First pitch to Reynolds will miss down and outside, ball 1. Reynolds 0 for 3 in this game. The 1-0. Inside, ball 1. And Sensley on the move. He'll swipe second. So it's actually a 2-0 count to Cody Reynolds. As Sensley moves to second on the steal. Here's the 2-0. Reynolds shows bunt, lays it down. And Lagos will just go to first for the sure out. Might have had a split second to try and go to third as Sensley did hesitate. Lagos makes the safe play and goes to first. So that brings up Bryant Harris to the plate. 1 down, a runner at third, and Sensley. Infield all playing in, trying to prevent that run from scoring. First pitch to Harris. In there, called strike 1. Here's the 0-1. That's hit on the ground towards short. Shackelford will go to the plate. Leninger will tag Sensley out. So Sensley will be out at the plate. Bucs do not score. So Harris will be safe on the fielder's choice, but Sensley out at the plate keeps the score 2-1. Two down, bottom of the 8th. Score remains 2-1. McCarthy Tatum up to the plate for the Bucs. Lagos checks on Bryant Harris over first. He's back in time. Harris does already have 2 steals today. Both of them were stealings of second base. And Lagos now will step off. And now Lagos needs a new ball. First pitch to Tatum. Runner on the move, but that's ground towards Shackelford at short. And he'll get that over to first in time for the final out of the inning. So that'll do it for the bottom of the 8th. Some nice defensive plays will keep the Bucs from adding on any runs. Bucs do, however, have a 2-1 lead as we head into the top of the 9th. And the Chinooks will have to put some runs on the board if they want to stay undefeated here in Anchorage. Top of the ninth inning, Chinooks trailing 2-1 to the Bucs. 2, 3, 4 hitters due up. Mason Mount, new pitcher on the hill for the Bucs. Wyatt Mills, the 6'4 junior from Gonzaga. He's looking for his second save on the summer. Mason Mallard getting set in that right-handed batter's box. First pitch to him. Outside corner called strike one. Mallard 1 for 3 on the day. Had a triple in the first. The 0-1 miss way outside, ball one. One and one the count to Mallard. Here's the 1-1. That'll catch the inside corner, called strike two. One and two the count to Mason Mallard. The 1-2. Outside ball two. Here's the 2-2. That'll be fouled back. Mallard stays alive at 2-2. Two and two, the count to Mason Mallard, the junior at Louisiana Tech. The 2-2. Line to right side, that'll go foul. Mallard on the summer came into today hitting .212. Has 6 doubles, 1 home run, 12 RBIs. And in case you're wondering, that home run did occur here at Mulcahy Stadium. Here's the 2-2. Chopped on the ground, third base line. Stays fair. Mallard will beat it out over at first. So Mallard on with the infield single to start the top of the ninth. Hunter Vanson now coming up to the plate. Nobody down, 1 on. Top of the ninth inning, Chinooks trail 2-1. First pitch to Vansaw. Swing and a miss for strike one. On the day, Vansaw 0 for 3, 2 groundouts and a strikeout. Here's the 0-1. Lined hard, left side. That'll go out of play. Vansaw down in the count 0-2. Here's the 0-2. Just outside, ball one. 1-2 the count to Vansaw. They'll be heading to Mississippi State in the fall. They'll check on Mallard. That ball briefly gets away from Reynolds, so even if they had a chance, didn't complete the catch. Mallard does have 8 steals on the summer. That leads the Chinooks. He's only been caught once. Here's the 1-2. Line to back foul once again. Count remains 1-2 to Hunter Vansaw. The 1-2. That'll miss low ball too. Two balls, 2 strikes to Hunter Vansaw. Chinook DH today. Usually you can see him out in right field. We'll check on Mallard at first. He'll dive back in time. Here's the 2-2. That'll miss just low ball 3. Full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes to Hunter Vansaw. Here's the 3-2. That'll miss inside. Mallard was on the move, but it won't matter as Vansaw draws the walk. Puts runners at first and second for Tim Millard. Nobody down, top of the 9th. Mallard the tying run. Vansaw the go-ahead run. Bucs outfield shading to the left a little bit, as Sensley's more towards left center than center field. So Tim Millard up to the plate. Nobody down, top of the 9th. Runners at first and second. Millard shows bunt, pulls it back. That's ball 1. So let's see if the bunt stays on with the 1-0 count. The 1-0. Millard lays down the bunt, but it'll go foul. Didn't even take the bat out of his hands. One on the count to Tim Millard. He's 0 for 3 on the day with 2 flyouts and a strikeout. Had a timely hit yesterday, had a single that brought in 2 extra runs for the Chinooks. They were already up 5-3. He made it 7-3. The 1-1. Shows bunt, pulls it back. That's ball 2. As Riemensby's tried to frame that in there, was unable to do so. Two and 1 count. Mallard on second with Vansaw on first. Nobody down, top of the 9th. Chinooks trail 2-1. The 2-1. Bunt laid down by Millard. They'll have to go to first. They only will be able to get Millard out. So the sac bunt from Tim Millard works to perfection. Puts runners at second and third with just 1 down. Again, Mallard the tying run. Vansaw the go-ahead run. It'll be Ethan Whisker up to the plate. Whisker on the day. He's 0 for 3 with a couple groundouts and a flyout. First pitch to him. That'll miss low, ball 1. Whisker the Charger from Hillsdale. The 1-0. That one's fouled back. Evens it back up. 1 ball, 1 strike. One and one the count to Ethan Whisker. Runners at second and third. The 1-1. In there, called strike 2. Makes it a 1-2 count to the first baseman, Whisker. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. He'll go down on strikes. It's out number 2 here in the top of the 9th. That'll bring Aaron Shackelford up to the plate. 2 down, top of the 9th. Chinooks trailing 2-1. Shack 1 for 3 today. Had a single back in the 5th. First pitch to Shackelford. Catches the outside corner, called strike 1. Shackelford came into today's game hitting .267. Here's the 0-1. It's hit on the ground towards short. Trejo will field it. He'll get that over to Reynolds at first in time for out number 3. And for the first time all summer, the Chinooks will lose in Anchorage. They'll fall today by a score of 2-1 to the Anchorage Bucs. So as far as player of the game goes, looks like I'm going to go with 2 for 4 today. And was the only Chinook to have multiple hits. They only had 5 hits today as a team. So I'm going to go with Mason Mallard as my player of the game, second time he's won this award. And the other time was also right here in Anchorage. So Mason Mallard will be our player of the game. Again, Chinooks lose by a score of 2-1 here in Anchorage. I'll have my interview with Mason here in just a little bit. All right, thank you, folks, for sticking around here. Player of the game today, Mason Mallard, his second time winning the award, went 2 for 4 today, had a triple to start off this game. So, Mason, I know you joked about how you wanted another interview. You get it the next day. You had a triple to start off this game. So, what did you see up there at the plate to get the triple?
I just trust myself. This whole experience for me has been really great, and just to be able to have the chance to go out every day and through success and failure to persevere has been great for me.
So you come out, had the triple, you had the infield hit to start the ninth when your team down 2-1. So how did it feel to come up big in a big spot for your guys?
Good. I was just really trying to have a good at bat. Not really worrying about the result, but just really trying to get on base no matter what it took to give ourselves a chance to win that game, which we did, just come up short. So
sometimes things just don't happen the way it turned out. It's 5 hits for each team, 2-1 game. Sometimes they don't have like that. So I know early on in the summer, you had to make a decision about where to go to school. So how does it feel to have closure on the situation, and how has that helped you also this summer?
I had a tough decision to make just with a coaching change, but that has really helped me kind of just form who I am today. And through the tough choices, I just, had to trust God through everything and really just trust in Him and my abilities to persevere through that time.
So not only a good ball player, but a good man as well. Mason, thanks for taking the time.
Appreciate it.
And so that's all we have. We'll be playing the Miners each of the next 2 days, 1 game at home, 1 game in Palmer. So stay tuned for that, Chinooks fans. Again, we lose today by a score of 2-1.
Go Chinooks.